No one ever believes me when I tell them this, but I went back to Michael Jackson's hotel room with him when I was only 7 years old.
It's almost like that whole thing was a witch hunt, just because people hate to see a black man with power and influence. Who said that?
Michael Jackson is so big, and I'm using present terms here because even after his death, the man is still doing so much, still accomplishing so much, and people cannot stop talking about him. And now that his biopic is scheduled to be released come next year, he's being spoken about now even more. Now, if it isn't obvious yet, I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, and I've always been right from when I was a little girl. Hence why this is the second video I'm making on him at the moment, because I'm excited about this whole Michael Jackson conversation and all of the situations and conversations about him and his upcoming biopic. The first video I did was on Fabio Jackson and his shenanigans. Those of you who've seen this video that I have on the screen right now, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, which, by the way, he's still at it. And right now it's like it's even getting worse, because apparently man cannot even accept that Michael Jackson is a black man.
You do know Michael Jackson is black, right? He's a black man. He's a black American, African American man.
He's a very dark shade of skin.
No, he's black. He's black. He's a black man. He's black.
A black man would be someone from Congo or something like that.
What are you even supposed to say in response to that? Like, it genuinely gets to a point. It really does. Because what the actual F is going on here? What level of psychosis is this? Like, the level of delusion you have to be operating under for you to look at someone as popular as Michael Jackson. Like, the man literally grew up on TV. We saw what he looked like when he was like fresh out of the womb, up until the point where he unfortunately passed. But the point here is the man was a black man, but let Fabio tell it, no, for you to be black, apparently you have to come from Congo. And yes, there's more to this clip. And there are other clips actually that we are going to be looking at in a part 2. Yes, I'm going to be making a part 2 on this delusional wannabe who apparently, allegedly is a racist, by the way, a racist white man who's cosplaying and profiting off of the image and legacy of a black man while denying his blackness. It truly has gotten out of hand. This behavior right here, to me, I consider a sickness and one that needs to be called out, nipped at the bud. Hence why I do intend to make a part 2 on this particular guy. All things being equal, maybe that video will drop tomorrow, so look forward to that and get ready, because it really does get crazy. Pardon me for that long Fabio rant I just had there. I guess you can call that me soft launching tomorrow's video. But let's stay in the present for now and get to today's video, which, by the way, is one that's was sent to me by a brother named Terry. Shout out to Terry for sending this in. So, seeing as everybody at the moment is talking about Michael Jackson and his upcoming biopic, this creator decided to take the opportunity to share an experience that she had with Michael Jackson, how she had met him at the age of 7 and she went back to his hotel room with other kids. And the video, of course, did get people's attention and it has people talking. So without further ado, I'm just going to let the video roll and I'll meet you guys after.
No one ever believes me when I tell them this, but I went back to Michael Jackson's hotel room with him when I was only 7 years old. Now, before you MJ haters start on me, just let me get into the story, okay? In 1996, Michael Jackson came to Sydney, Australia on his World History Tour concert. And at the same time, he was also releasing a short film that he did called Ghost, which was actually written by Stephen King, I've just found out. Now, at the premiere of his movie in Sydney, he wanted a whole bunch of kids to sit around him and then the adults around the outside. It was kind of like the kids were protecting him from the adults, and I totally get that now. The short film only went for about 45 minutes, and at the end, the lights came up and everybody had realized MJ had snuck out at some point during the movie and nobody even noticed. So the fans went crazy. They all started running out after him. And us as kids were like, oh, okay, do we just leave? So we all started walking and following them all. I just remember being like knocked to the ground, getting trampled on by all these adults, like crying, didn't know what was going on and just trying to make my way out the front. When I finally got out to the front, I went into the coach that we arrived to the premiere in, and all the kids were in there. We were all crying. We were all getting checked for injuries. It was pretty chaotic. I didn't really know what was going on. Then I remember somebody coming onto the bus, and I don't exactly remember who it was, but they said, Michael has found out what has happened to you guys, and he's really upset, and he wants to make it up to you by inviting you back to his hotel. What? Me, like 7-year-old, like didn't even know what was going on. But me now, I'm like, that's crazy. At this point, our parents were all hysterical, like crying in tears. And we're all just like, oh, cool, we're going to meet MJ. Like, this is awesome. No, this is like once in a lifetime thing that nobody will ever get the chance to do. So when we got to the hotel, we were taken up to his hotel room by a couple of security guards and like one of our chaperones. And there was, I don't remember exactly how many kids in there, maybe like 10, maybe 15, but we all went in, and oh my gosh, this was just like the most exciting experience of my life. I remember him just being so friendly, and he was just so apologetic for everything that had happened and like all of us getting hurt and all that stuff. So what he did was pretty crazy. He went into the bedroom and he opened up his closet and he grabbed all of his jackets, like all the sparkly ones, all of his specialty made ones that he gets made for all of his concerts. Anyway, he grabbed them all out of the closet, chucked them on the bed, and we got to choose any of the jackets that we wanted. Not only that, one of the kids got his Nintendo 64, one of my other friends got like a mask, the glove, like all of his little accessories. This was just wild to me. So after we all chose our jackets and things that we wanted, we all took photos with him, and then we left. And that was it. And it was literally the most incredible experience, and one that I cherish to this day. Unfortunately though, my house burnt down in the bushfires when I was 14, and my jacket went down with the house. So yeah, I don't have that jacket anymore, but I have photos with me wearing the jacket. That's still awesome. What we did the next day was even more incredible. We went on his actual stage at his concert for Heal the World, and while he was singing, we were all walking around in a circle around him. So that is on video somewhere. Still to this day, I'm a massive MJ fan. Rest in peace. And also, where's all the evidence? Like, there's no baby oils, there's no videos. It was just a couple of guys coming after him after their fame kind of dropped and their money ran out. So, love you, MJ. Thanks for the experience, and hope you're resting in peace.
Like, I'm not even going to lie. You guys know I always keep it 100. However it is that I feel about the situation, I'm going to share it, right? Because I always keep it real. When I first saw this video, I could feel my younger self, my inner child being jealous, like hardcore jealous of younger her, 7-year-old her. Because like, what do you mean you met Michael Jackson? Like, I rule, so you met him, whatever. Who cares? But trust and believe, my inner child cares so much, because this right here was one of my biggest wishes when I was younger. I used to wish, oh, I wish I could see Michael Jackson. I wish I could meet him one day. I used to dream about having this kind of experience, and I hoped and prayed. I, kept my fingers crossed every night in hopes that God would grant this one prayer that I had of meeting this guy. I used to wish that he would one day come to Nigeria for a concert so that I can go there, which, by the way, I, now thinking about it in retrospect, would not have been able to make it to that concert, because for one, ain't no way if Michael Jackson was ever going to be coming to Nigeria that he would be coming to the city that we lived in back then when I was younger, which is still the city I live in right now. But that's besides the point. The point is, we weren't living in any of the major cities in Nigeria. And if he were going to be coming to Nigeria, he'd definitely be going to the major cities like Lagos, Abuja, and, the other ones then, right? So I would not have been able to go see him. But distance would not have been the only reason, because even if man had come to my city gone, I still would not have been able to go see him because my family was broke. So me thinking about or dreaming about attending a Michael Jackson's concert one day was just me being delusional, because ain't no way in hell would my parents have been able to afford it if, say, the opportunity presents itself. Say if he came to our country, Nigeria, for a concert. There was no way, shape or form it would have been possible for me to be able to do that. The only way it would have been possible I'm laughing because it's just very sad. I don't know how else to react. The only way it would have been possible for me to actually see the guy is if he came if he came to our little town, and he offered a free concert. That was the only way. Because you're not going to tell my dad or my mom, people that cannot even afford to send us like, good private school, because we had to get public education from like secondary school. That now they should come and bring money that they are keeping for feeding and more important, in quotes, expenses for me to go to a concert. Like, what? What? Poverty really is a bastard. I hate that age with every fiber of my being. Really, because like it really is sad. It really is sad. I mean, it's to some people it's not that deep. It's just a concert, whatever, move on. But like, there are some things that you carry with you that you don't get to enjoy or maybe experience as a child, that you carry with you even to your adult years. And sometimes maybe you carry them with you till you die. And this one definitely is one of them, for real, for real. I remember the day the man passed. I was in school. I found that in class. I cried my eyes out. Well, all of that is besides the point. We're not talking about me right now. But yes, when I saw this video, I did feel like, wow, lucky you, girl. Lucky you. You had that experience. Good for you. So, people were engaging with the video. And of course, like she said in the video, people did not believe her that she had this experience. So she had to make a second video with evidence, if we can say, to prove that she actually did meet the guy. So let's check that video out.
I told you no one was going to believe me when I said that I went back to Michael Jackson's hotel room with him when I was just 7 years old. I even got called out for lying, rage baiting, and even making up excuses for why my homework's not due. Honestly, the only homework I do now is therapy and making sure my meds get taken on time. So I did a little bit of digging, and it's amazing what you can find on the web, because I found so much more than what I expected. I've found a magazine article, I've found an actual video from a news report. So here it is.
Quick FYI before seeing the video, I'm not sure what this video is going to look like when it's up on YouTube. Because of copyright issues, I may have to distort it a little bit so the video can be up. So if the video is not playing like a video would naturally play, maybe if I'm freezing certain places or tweaking it up a little bit, just know that that is because of copyright.
National moment. Without his mask and on the town, Michael Jackson, master of publicity, at the world opening of his short film. Thousands queued for hours. He arrived not with new wife Debbie, but a dozen young friends. However, after the 30-minute screening, chaos. A barrier broke, a crush of photographers and fans surged forward.
Everybody's getting tramped, people were getting falling down the stairs. He nearly fell over, he had tears in his eyes.
Jackson was torn away from his young guests as bodyguards swamped the star.
All he could say was, I've lost my children, I've lost the children. And so they had to throw him back into the cinema, and he felt like he went under, he went on his knees and he crawled through the people.
Pop's so-called king was rushed to his waiting van. His entourage of young fans were swept into a bus and taken back to his hotel. Jackson.
Okay, so if that doesn't confirm everything I said in my last video, then I don't know, still call me a liar if you want, but I'll post the magazine articles as well. So you may need to press pause on those articles to read through them. But when I was reading through them last night, I completely forgot about the pillow fights and the lolly fights that we had. I remember just having bowls of lollies, and we were just chucking them all at each other and like hitting each other with pillows. And yeah, it was just chaos. It was lots of fun.
So she ended the video on this note with a picture of her and the other kids that she apparently had this encounter with. She's the one that obviously, as you can tell, has the arrows pointing to her there in the middle. So keep it 100. Something else that people have been talking about as well, aside from his accomplishments and how great of a guy and talented of an artist he was, people are also talking about his controversies. A lot of clips are recirculating, interviews and whatnot. In light of that, I came by this video where this creator made a very interesting point, in my humble opinion it is, where she basically said that she don't think that a black man would have actually committed the crimes that he was accused back in the day of committing and get away with it.
Michael Jackson was never a PDF file, because if he was, his name would have been the first one dropped off of the Schmepstein list or the Schmitty party list. However, shockingly, his name has not been mentioned on either. It's almost like that whole thing was a witch hunt, just because people hate to see a black man with power and influence. Who said that?
When I saw this video, I was like, this is a very interesting perspective to look at this situation. So I went into the comment section to see what people are saying in there, right? And a lot of people were like, you're onto something here. And actually, I learned something new from the comment section in this video, because apparently Michael Jackson had even started speaking out against what Israel was doing over there in Palestine, and is still doing over there in Palestine, by the way. And people are speculating that it's possible that this is the reason why they start coming hard on him, because he's speaking against the US government's favorite G-side country. I also saw people talking about how the fact that he wanted to own his masters could have also been a contributing reason or factor as to why they wanted him to go down. Because how dare this black man have the audacity to want to be free from them and own his stuff, right? So they were very threatened, apparently, and what people are saying, they were threatened, and they hated the fact that he had this power, he had this much control and influence, he was this talented, people loved the guy, and now he's, you know, raining on their charade, how they see it or saw it back in the day. So they're like, okay, we need to do away with him. He's done his time here. We need to get him out of the picture at this point, find a way to ruin his reputation. And, you know, when you think about it, because I started thinking about, okay, really, I mean, I'm not someone who you would find defending anybody, especially when it comes to crimes like this that he was being accused of, right? Regardless of the fact that I like your music or I'm a fan of you, I've been a fan of you since I was a child. I know better than to come out and be defending people, especially when they are celebrities, because let's be for real, we know that these people can be weird. Humans generally are weird, right? So you want to be careful who you are out here defending, especially when you don't have any evidence to back why you are defending them and saying that they are innocent, except for the fact that you are a big fan of them, which is something that a lot of people do. And I think that it's weird that people do that for celebrities, because this behavior enables a lot of celebrities to get away with their crime, and I don't like it very much. And I'm not those kind of people that fan over people to the point where I start to act crazy. So even in this moment, no, I'm not going to, you are not going to catch me even defending the Michael Jackson I'm talking about, because at the end of the day, I don't know nothing. I don't know who he was in his private life, what he was, you know, going up and about doing on a day-to-day basis, because you quite frankly cannot put anything past humans. Humans are very unique and they would continue to shock you. Hell, how many times have we heard stories of people that were married to people for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, only for them to find out that the person that they thought they knew, they never really knew them. But one thing I take very importantly in all of this, and I think quite frankly is very telling as to what the situation really is, or should I say was, as it relates to his the accusations that he's had in the past when he was alive, is the fact that the FBI had nothing on the man. Yeah. Regardless of what I'm saying and how I know I'm not defending anybody, the point here is the FBI had nothing against that man. And I think that is very telling. I think that tells us everything we need to know. Because if the FBI is on your matter, trust and believe they are going to find everything that they need to find about you. And they are going to take you down if they need to take you down, right? So the fact that the FBI was on that man's case, if I'm not mistaken, I think I read for like 10 years, and they found nothing. They were in and out of his house everywhere looking at, and they found nothing on the man. I think that's very telling. And that's where I do intend to rest this conversation on.
Michael said that his biggest regret was settling that first lawsuit. Remember that one boy?
Now listen to this. I have to tell you this.
Okay.
So after I left the party, I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, "Are you serious, Mom?" I was like, "What is going on here? Why are you letting this happen?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I think something happened, you know, I think something." I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving. What the is this? And I looked at my mom, I go, "Are you really trying to go at Michael and use me for a money grab? Are y'all crazy?" I said, "What you think I'm gonna do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money?" That's sad, man. This life can be sad if you let it.
Yeah.
It could be really lonely and really sad if you let it.
That was Aaron Carter, and he was an American singer and rapper. And I'm saying was because he died like a year after speaking out in the defense of Michael Jackson. Now, some people may say that's just a coincidence, him dying after speaking out. But when it comes to them people, guys, especially them powerful ones, the movers and shakers of this world and how they operate, like, one cannot help but think, was this really a coincidence, or was there foul play? Did something fishy go on? Is this right here a clue, perhaps, of some sort that we should be looking at? But what are your thoughts on all of this, though? Do let me know down below in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation there. Thank you very much for watching. Wishing you all a happy weekend ahead. Stay blessed, stay safe out there. I'll be catching you